of all, start this off. YouTube, this is fair use. No bullcrap, alright? If you freaking shut my videos down again for a cardboard object, I'm going to flip, alright? You may have done that, I guess, for fair, because the last one it looked real. That was an airsoft gun. And then I tried to file a claim for that, see if I could get that back up again. No, it didn't happen. So YouTube took that down. So we got this monstrosity cooked up in the shop. It looks wonderful. I love it. This is my second LMG. I tried to make it as historically accurate as possible. This is a Mg42 in Germany. You'll know it as Hitler's Buzzsaw. One of the most iconic LMGs because this thing shoots about 1,600 rounds a minute. This thing spits fire. So, taking a look under the hood here, I have a latch for the top cover that just folds out. Here we can see I milled out the internals. I'm still working on the feed cover. That's not done yet. We do have the spring here. This can be set. I just don't want it to because when it does, it gets stuck back here in the channel for the bolt. So I'm leaving that like that. You can move the handle here all you want though, so that's not a worry. But we got most of that done in there. Go ahead and closing this thing out. Locking it isn't that hard. The tape is rough around the edges, but that we can't fix. We also here have probably one of the first mechanical experiments I've ever done like this. Is a removable barrel. Mg42s have this because since a gun shoots about 1,000 rounds a minute, it's got to have some way to fix that barrel because that rifling will start to wear down, it'll start to become inaccurate. And if the barrel blows up, so does the gun. So we want to keep the gun running. So all Mg42s have a barrel door where you can load one of these in. Hey, Leo. We're just going to load this baby in. How did I make it? Well, I used a few spec blueprints for this thing. So I just went online, checked out measurements and stuff like that from the main receiver, and I just formed the heat shield out of cardboard still. I used the box from that SCAR that I got that YouTube took down, which was really freaking stupid. This is still a work in progress, so it's not the perfect thing. So here you can already see the barrel inserting in. So the barrel is going to protrude, and then we have to twist the cam into the heat shield. And then once twisted in, you're going to see the barrel protruding out the front. Just tap that in, and then we close the gate. Once the gate is closed, the barrel is in the gun. It's locked in there. So I got that system to work. You can go ahead and look it up on how these babies work. It's really crazy. These are open bolt machine guns, probably one of the most deadliest in the deadliest conflict, I guess, World War II. Germans used this thing a hell of a lot, and pretty much this was the best light machine gun that they've ever used, period. They had the Mg34, which was produced before this. It had a changing barrel, except it flipped over the gun, and the barrel came out from the top. You'd have to remove it that way. But this one is the updated version. We have, really, it won't change anything. Mg3 looks the same. That is the modernized version of the Mg42 that Germany still uses. The Mg3 just has like a new AA sight. It's got updated parts and stuff like that, so it's easier to make, but while still maintaining that fire. This is chambered in 8mm Mauser. 8mm Mauser is a hefty round. If you know what the Kar 98K is, that's what that thing fires. God bless Warzone. Don't use that. You're disgusting. But this is chambered in that same big round. So you could imagine as this thing was going through, because rounds, when they enter the body, they do multiple things. It can tumble around. Sometimes those things, actually most of the time, they'll have pass-throughs, which makes that round so deadly, which is why Germany, thank God they're on our side using this thing. So now it's chambered in 308, the Mg3. So this is the 42, so this is the older version. So I wanted to make this as good as possible while still not using too much cardboard. And I'll be honest with you guys here, you can actually see this real quick. The amount of cardboard that we still have left over for projects after this is done, we have a lot of it. This is what I use for stuff. We have a lot of crap in here. Don't worry about any of it, but this is what we've been using for updates and projects and stuff like that. Plastic has nothing to do with it, but I've been cutting, trying to get this up to spec. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing we have to make here is it's not impossible. It's actually pretty easy. We need the flash booster, which is, I don't even know if half the people that watch these are really that big on guns, but flash booster is what attaches here, and it's that weird coat thing that you see protruding out of the MG, where it's just, it makes it look even more gnarly than it already is. Basically, it kind of acts as a muzzle brake and a flash suppressor, but I haven't really seen that do anything. It also boosts rate of fire, which is even more gnarly. There's a lot of parts that go into this gun. However, when you look at it in layman's terms, it's not that bad. Really, all you got is a sear, and then you got your bolt, you got your recoil spring. It's just pressing that thing forward every time that sear lets go. Once you pick the sear back up by resetting the trigger and letting go, it stops it. So that's cool. This is a downward ejector by Little Square. This is a downward ejecting LMG. I didn't formally fix that, so we just have nothing there. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. I'm not really gonna do anything with it. I could put adjustable sights on this, so as you slide this, it ranges up to, I think, 800 meters, like that. So I guess we'll go ahead and get cracking here. I'm gonna need some kind of a picture of this thing in order to produce anything. Sad part is I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I am completely this is gonna be hard because I don't have a picture of that thing stock at all. Come with me. Oh, okay. Forgot it wants it to look like that. I'm stupid. Why is my finger? Is that my finger? Which hand is that? I don't know which hand that is. All right. Don't mind anything in here. Literally do not mind it. See, I got something that got stuck in customs for a little bit that nobody has seen as far as I'm concerned. I don't know where they are. Basically, they were little guns. Probably about the size of like my hand. I have no clue where they went, so I might be on a cold trail here. Unless it's somewhere in here. I remember it was in like a plastic bag. Okay, yeah, I don't think I want to go in there looking for that, actually. Yeah, not going to worry about that. So, the only way, if I'm concerned, to find a stock for this is to... I'm going to have to cancel out of the stream. I'm not going to close it, but it's going to say, like, stream buffering or some crap like that. I don't know how that's going to work, so just give me a minute here. Okay, so this is going to be pretty hard to do, so we'll go ahead and get those measurements done. This machine gun overall, by the way, I just wanted to say I did a fantastic job measuring the heat shield because I had no idea if I was going to do that correctly. I'm not going to be cutting out holes on this because you have no idea how much hell that would put me in to get hole here, 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 and then all around the bottom. Because the bipod's supposed to go, I think, right here. There's supposed to be a channel for it to pop in. So I'm not going to be doing that, but we are going to be keeping this thing shape. I also missed the pistol grips. What's it called over here? There's supposed to be like a channel it fits in, so a pin goes straight through it, so it keeps it in place. I don't have that done as of now. We'll go ahead and go through the... Okay, this is annoying. It's the fan that's ruining everything right now. We're going to go through the sketching process and get that done. And we're going to cut out a bit of board. Alright. You're probably not going to be able to see the sketch itself. I don't know. I don't have any kind of tripod, so I can't, like, direct you towards me. Actually, I might actually, because my mom just bought a brand new... That's not going to work. I just realized that. This is a challenge. Okay, hold on. I'll just put you right here. I'm not going to worry about it. Seems for the meantime everyone has left, so I'm just going to keep going with what I'm doing. What time is it? Which time we got? Just over 20 minutes. So the stock starts here, and... Oh wait, no, sorry. Right here at the second mark. Stock steps there. So we have our markings for our stock, how tall it's going to be, and where it's going to fit. It's got to fit precisely between those two little whatever you want to call those right there. It's going to fit right between that. Then I'm going to be able to slide it into it. Now, normally, Mg42s, their recoil springs actually do go through the stock. The stock screws onto the recoil spring cap, and it just sits in there while it's cycling. So we already have the height measurement for stocks, which is good. Let me go ahead and pop that door in there so it's not flapping around like a crazy person. All right. So to draw this thing, here's the thing about the stocks on these things. They look really weird. I can't explain it. Oh, so I need you to take a seat, Bubbas. Thank you. They look pretty weird. I can go ahead and try to sketch out what it looks like. I can't remember these off the top of my head. But if I'm not wrong, I'm pretty goddamn sure. It kind of looks a little bit like that. The slope on it. It goes high. Here, I need to check that real quick. No, that might be a little too high. I need to bring that down a little bit. This is ridiculous. Oh my god. Give me 1 second. I need to figure out... Okay, back once again. So, I tried to... Okay, it's just falling now. This is stupid. This is really stupid. Ow. So I've tried to... The lighting's off, isn't it? Hold on. Give me 1 second. The lighting is off. Oh my god, also, dude, you need to tuck your tail, dude. Sunshine. It's important. Okay. My camera has not focused. Focus. Okay, it's not focusing. Why are you doing that? It's like trying to channel the sunlight out. Okay. This is what I could see from it. Not that other line, that line's jacked up. However, this is what it kind of looks like. So normally, whenever I'm making guns, the sketch process is always like the most important process. So I'm not like drawing on cardboard and then cutting it out, noticing it's wrong, and then having to cut a new piece out because I jacked up. So rather, what you'll do, you'll draw it on paper first. Now this was just because I found a couple specs and dimensions online. I could figure out how to put this thing together, but we don't have that for the stock. I tried looking for measurements just now and I couldn't find anything. However, I do have it drawn out and I do have the height. So I'm gonna see if this actually fits in there and looks okay. Okay. So I'm kind of noticing it's a little too long. It might be. So I shrink it to here. Okay, I kind of want to get it right here. I think it's a little too long. Let me get a little... think it goes just a tad bit too high. We're going to bring that down a little bit. Well, I mean, is it enough for my pad, though? That's the thing. I can't tell. I'm just going to bring this down just to be safe. I don't know about that second line, though. No, we'll just keep the initial look. I looked at it earlier. I noticed my microphone. My bad. See, I noticed that whenever I looked at it, the top of the stock is actually in line with the sight. So this will show if I got it correct or not. Only thing I'm battling with right now is the length of it. I mean, it looks good from here, so I can't really see much wrong. Other than the length of it, which I'll go ahead and leave out. And okay, there we go. Great. So from what I saw, I kind of drew it just a tad bit wrong on the height of it. However, I can say that the length is going to be cut down. Let me kind of bring this with that. Okay. Okay, you can't even see that, but I kind of tried to cut it down a little bit. So this is the shape that we have as of now for the stock. I mean, it looks all right. So we'll go ahead and move to the next process. Do I have my scissors in here? I do not. Okay, that's nice. They're back here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the building process. Now that we have the stock, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out as a stencil, tape it to a piece of cardboard, cut it there, and then I'm going to cut it out from a second piece. And then we will come with our end result. Then once we get the width proper, I'm going to go in there and apply that to it. And we're going to have a whole stock. And then it should just slip right into the rear. That sounds really bad. Of the stock. Or at least the rear trunnion. Okay. We have stock piece. Why is it doing that? We have a stock piece cut out now. So I can see that it's very weird. It doesn't apply to anything. Probably because these are overhanded. You're supposed the back of the stock is supposed to go over your shoulder as a stock rest. Okay, we'll go ahead and check if this is correct, and we can move on to the building process. Why are you doing that? Please stop flying around in the wind. All right, we have a check on that one. So there's stock piece. I need my tape, wherever that is. See, normally I'd put all my supplies inside of my thing, but it's not inside. So I'm going to go get that real quick. It's probably not even in here, I bet. Either that or it's over yonder. No, it's not in there. Okay, I figured. We'll go in and look for it. I hate this. We lost it. God dang it. Okay, hold on. All is not lost. It's probably inside of my thing over here. See, here's the thing about hot glue. I want to use it because it's like a really good source of stickiness, and it doesn't look like this afterwards. You'll have just this whole thing just built. But problem with it, one, I'm scared of like leaving it on and it's just sitting there getting hotter and hotter. And two, I don't want to need to get on the floor, which is why you get cardboard, I guess. But I don't know, it's a source that's good, but I'm scared to use. And I don't also have that. I think we have a hot glue gun somewhere. That's out. Where's my tape at? Where'd it go? It's gone. This is what makes me mad in the middle of the day whenever stuff goes missing. Has none on it and it's garbage. Because that tape sticks on itself and then it stays there. Somebody might have been using my tape. And they didn't put it back. Which is very annoying. Because now I ain't got nothing to mend stuff together. This is stupid. Whoever touched my stuff, you finna get it. We finna fight. I think they did too. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. Where did I put that? I'm trying to remember. This might have just ruined the entire stream, honestly. Because I can't find it anywhere. Not under my controllers. I figured it wouldn't be. It's also really funny because if someone did use it, my mama told me not to use her tape. I'd be mad if she like went around and started using it without asking. Yeah, it's just gone. It's completely gone. I could have sworn that unless freaking they went to my room and took it. I'll check again. Nope. Nowhere to be found. I'm trying to figure out what to do now. Because I have nothing that's adhesive. Well, this pissed me off for the day. Great. Now I know that everyone's using my stuff without even asking me. So now I can't. I literally just drew that out. Now I can't use it because I have nothing to use it on. I sworn I put everything in the box where I left it. And then she does keep moving it around. She'll put it up here in this freaking pail where everything's in. It's not even in there. So I don't know where it is. Then there's a used one over here that's completely out. Try looking behind some stuff. Move this chair. Nope. I'll be pissed if they accidentally threw it in the trash. That's gonna piss me off. Well, you know what? Use my stuff, I'm gonna use theirs. Equilibrium. There is a hot glue gun in here. I'm afraid to use it. I know if I get but one drop on the floor, my mom's gonna go freaking insane. Those are foam in here. Alright, jack diddly in here. That's annoying. Took my tape and I ain't even got an incentive. That's Unless it's under the bed. It could be under the bed. I don't know why it would be, but I'll check. I'm gonna put you guys right here for a second. You're not gonna see anything. My tape is completely gone. Someone finessed it. It's gone. Problems. I'm here making me look bad. Oh my god. Hell. It's gone. No way someone just came up in here, popped it, said what's popping, and took my tape. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me, because if that's true, I'm gonna be sitting here looking like an idiot, twiddling my thumbs trying to get this tape off this freaking thing, and that's gonna run out 2 seconds later, because this isn't even good tape. Well, that's just sad. It's just gone. Completely gone. So we have this crap that I'm probably going to be sitting here for 3 hours trying to get the tape off of it because it's stuck to its own surface. Oh my god. Bro, she got whole rolls in here. I'm going to tell her I'm sorry afterwards. Sorry, I ran out. Yeah. I don't want to ask her for even more stuff because I feel like that's just rude. You gonna fit right there. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna get my freaking stuff ready. How much time we got? Probably not much. Was it 14? No, it's 52. A little over a couple minutes. Alright, well, ready to keep this show rolling, I guess. Need to figure out what the... Because I don't want to get the sides of it. And I'll just use this internal box instead. Go in here and cut out a whole square, and we'll get this one ready to go. You can't see any of this. I need a tripod, something that I can use to record. You can't be serious. I might actually have to grab the camera and just do this. This is not gonna bode well, so. This side right here, so we'll go ahead and mark boundary. Right here, right here. And what other markings do I need? I forgot. Okay. Now you guys get to watch me go through the trouble of cutting this. What? What about a shoe store? I don't think this is a shoebox. I forgot what this is from. This is from that, what my hydro pack came in when I bought it. hate cutting off walls. Okay, that's done. I gotta cut the rest off and I gotta turn it facing the white, or else did I just cut myself twice? I think I did. That's a record. First one. Okay, great, we got it. Alright. Yep, I will tell her I am sorry afterwards for taking her tape. That's great. Because that crap, mine just disappeared. I don't know where that went. She might have used the rest of it on one of her boxes over here, honestly. I thought it was hers. That's what I think happened. Because it kind of is packing tape, but it kind of isn't. So here's what we do when we cut out stencils. We grab it and we post it here on the side. And then we just basically just tape it to the box itself. And then we'll cut around it. And once we get the shape out, we'll do the same thing twice on the other side. But one thing you gotta do when you're making sure of this, if your box is either discolored, a different color than the rest of the gun, or whatever you're making, or it just has like a lot of like lettering on it or stuff like this on the back, you can do one of two things. Number one, you could just honestly make it to where the you can get construction paper and post it over it for color, or you can just face the stuff on the other side if it's possible. So if it's like an Amazon box, just face all this on the inside of the gun so it can't be seen. Because if it's out there, it's going to look really stupid, because it's going to look like you made the thing out of newspaper. That might work. Okay. Oh no, actually, let me get the bottom cast it in too. There we go. Now we just cut around her. Also, if you are left with like any excess parts of board, don't throw them away, save them. You might need them for like wedging something in or some crap. Either that or I use like scraps to keep the feed cover in place so it's not moving all over. You always want to save those extra parts that you might need. If they're big enough for cutting, then they're good enough for something else. If they're like little strips, if you're doing like, I don't know, accents, I guess you could keep that, but I wouldn't do it unless I'm making like a spring or something for decoration. Then that just comes right off. And then this is what we're left with. So now we have a complete replica of this piece of paper. They look literally the same. So what we'll go ahead and do, we'll go ahead and try to fit this in and see if it looks good for final thoughts. And if I need to make any, see, look, it's not fitting in. I gotta cut it like off like a micrometer. There we go. Then it'll fit in like this. So notice how the stock's now going to fit in place. That's the way we want it. So we're not going to tape it in yet. We're going to go ahead and go around, get another well-sized piece of cardboard to finish that off. We still have the front sight and the booster to do after the stock is finished, along with the cam for the little grip. So we'll do the same thing once again. Do this out of the way so it doesn't fold on itself. Grab this little piece right here, and then we'll go around it. So where it ends, that's where it starts. I don't think that marked on anything at all. This is where it stops. Actually, wait, no. Got that a little wrong. We're gonna move this up just and adjust it. Here we go. This is where it really stops. Okay. Now that you have the markings in, you want to start cutting the rest out. So we'll pretty much just repeat the steps. The last one. Now see, notice how this has all this stuff on the back of it too. So what you would do, actually, is flip it behind. So you would cut out the space you need, and then flip it. So when you cut it out, this is going to be the front of what you're looking at, so it's not discolored. Always make sure your stuff is on the right side before doing anything. Okay, hold on. Give me a couple seconds. I need to log into my third period, and then after that, I should be in there for like 2 minutes. After that, you just let me know. I know. Go ahead and do that. All right. What? Here it is. Put this high. Try to move around it. Place that there. Always make sure once you're finished, I know, once you're finished with that, when you get these pieces out, always erase stray marks. It'll freaking jack up the way it looks. So now we got our board. So as said before, just always remember, it's a two-sided stock, it's not one-sided. So if I were to cut the same piece out this way, this is what will be on the back. So what we would do is switch it and actually put this on the back to where the random color crap was facing on this side. So when I cut this out, this will be the end result. I think. Am I doing this wrong? I might be doing this wrong. The stock should be this way, so okay, yeah. It should look like this. So blank on blank when you turn it around. And just so we don't mess up the other piece, I'm gonna grab the same stencil once again, and we're gonna go ahead and apply that. Match it up. We're good. Now we'll just tape this crap.
Hey Siri.
God dang, woman.
Text Mama back and tell her yes.
Jesus Lord, that's loud as heck.
Yes.
I don't know why they rely on Siri so much when you can just type it. Use your fingers. Also, just to make sure your cardboard is even with the rest of it, so when you cut it out, it doesn't look like some deformed dog. Especially when working on a stock like this, because this is probably one of the weirdest stocks I've seen in a while. Just the weirdest shape. Now we got it on that side, so now we just cut it out. Rinse and repeat. Just so we don't cut that little dovetail off, I'm gonna cut a head instead of a round. We're gonna go like this way. Make sure that part is out of the way. Okay. Put the rest of that out so now it looks like that. Bottom is clean. Now we just cut the rest out so we can have another equal and even copy of this stock. And make sure you don't bend any of the main piece. That'll screw you up big time once you start trying to 3D it. Now we have this. So now we just take that blank slate off. There you have it. So now we have two complete sides of the stock to use. 20? God damn, y'all moving quick. Honey, chill.
I'm in the process of putting in young grades so far.
Why?
So 20% is where you need to go. Where you need to be. Now it's 20%. We try to catch up. That's all I have for y'all.
Okay. Well, now we got two equal pieces, two even pieces. Now we'll get the width and replicate it again. This was 1 nanometer off, so I need to cut that little piece off to get that out of here. I'm already out of my 3rd period now, so I got the rest of this time to finish this little bit of it. Make sure everything is evened out on your stencil. If not, trust me, you'll have a bad time. Okay. For the most part, almost everything seems in order. There are a couple of, I don't know how that happened right there. It's like a incorrect cut here where it's not actually bended. It's not bent anywhere. Okay, it's good now. Now we have stocks complete and up to spec. We're gonna go ahead and make sure that everything fits into that little well, and it does. Alright. Now, to be fair, I did just do this a little bit, see what went wrong. This was actually supposed to be moved up. I misinterpreted the entire main receiver, so this isn't as long as it should be. It should be, if anything, just a little bit longer. But what's that gonna care if the gun looks like a gun, right? Not everything has to be super perfect. It just has to look like it. As long as it's authentic to its original piece, you will be fine. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and get the, where's my ruler? There it is on the ruler thing. God damn it. Got the ruler. Come over here and we'll go ahead and get this measured 2 inches. So now we have a 2-inch pool. So here's where I'm going to pay for that pretty soon. Here's where this comes into handy, the little walls. Now we have this long strip, and we just got to cut off the amount we need. Make sure it's lined up. Little Mark 2. Okay, and then to make sure it's going to be kind of straight, mark the same thing on the other side. And then mark the same thing in the middle. So now once you cut, you can keep realigning yourself with those lines, and your whole thing should be the measurement that you wanted. So now we go ahead, and I'll start on this side, and then you start cutting. Okay, well, this is 2 inches. I don't know where to start. I will probably start on the back, the front of it. So it creates a symmetry between the stock and the receiver. You got these extra little squares I guess sticking out. Alright. You got these little extra squares, rip them off. Alright. Oops. Rip them off. And then once you're doing this, you want to seat this properly. You want to make sure that cardboard is on top of cardboard, not around it. I'll tell you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is where it hangs off and it's making contact with the bottom of the cardboard that you're trying to wrap around. Because if you don't, it's not going to flop properly, because you want this thing to be able to move so you can align it. If you can't align it, what's the point? So we're going to get the other side of the wall of the stock onto this bad boy. Make sure it's on the bottom, and then you tape it. Make sure it's in line with the other piece, or else it won't look good. So you want to get it to look like this. Make sure the right piece is on there. Line it. And push. Now you have 2 pieces hanging off. So now once you have pieces looking like this and they're hanging off of each other, now what you want to do is make sure they are completely attached. So in other words, more tape. What you do, make sure they're still hanging when you do this. Get the tape, make sure it's on the right measurement, and push. So now it's not flopping up and downward, it's just staying straight, and the piece is staying on that little platform, and it's not allowed to move. Go ahead and grab this, push, and push. Now I got the 2 pieces hanging off the side, and they're equal, they're not moving up or down. Now, next thing you need to do is go ahead and start folding it to the shape of what you're doing. And make sure you're rounding it off properly, because if you're not rounding it off, it's not going to come out well. It's going to look like some Minecraft block texture that pulled off. So basically, whatever curve is there, you want to apply to that curve. You probably can't see that. See that? So I'm making it like a kind of that 90 degree. So what you want to do with this now, to make this look correct, is if you just put a piece of tape on there and slap it down, it's going to be all wrinkled. So what you want to do, you want to get the skinniest piece you can. Not too skinny to where it just rips, but skinny enough. The camera is not going to pick that up, but skinny enough to where you can push it in on that spot. So what you want to do first, do not put both sides on there unless you're an absolute Chad. If you're new to this, again, make sure everything's correct, because I just didn't form that little filler right there. Okay, so once everything's correct and you're on that curve, what you want to do, you want to get the skinny piece of tape, put it on that curve to where it's hanging off, and then once you align it correctly, you push it in to make sure it's not poking out, then you slide it like that. So now it's like just stuck there. So that piece has pushed it in. You want to do that for the whole thing. Now we have this little piece right here that's hanging out that hasn't been taped. Again, make sure cardboard is under cardboard at all times. And I just want to tape it and follow it. So now that piece is stuck to it as well, and it's not going to come loose. Again, all tape wears, so there's no such thing as super tape unless you have Gorilla Tape. And we're not using Gorilla Tape, we're using just duct tape. Clear duct tape. Literally the brand with the duck on it. Couldn't miss it. Okay, now since we have rounded that off, we're going to go ahead and round that last bit off. Remember, cardboard on cardboard. Then it's, once you get it shaped to your liking, the next thing you want to do is grab this tape and tape that side as well. Now you can use just a regular long piece, like just what it looks like when it comes out. You don't have to cut it at all because it's a long piece. Once you get that correct, put it on there, smooth it out so there's no wrinkles to be seen. So once you get it in there, it just has a, you can see the tape, but it's just a seam. It looks really nice. And make sure the rest of it's on there. Now if you get these little pokey bits that you're like pushing together and it's like sticking out the side there, I would worry about that. Don't let that freaking stick out at all, because it looks like the worst thing ever, and also because there's still a little bit of a crease and it's still flopping free. So what you want to do, get another piece of tape with a lot of pressure, push it down, and there you go. So now that piece isn't even sticking out anymore, and that crease isn't even there. Now, I'm not going to say you have to do every single piece where you can see the other side, but I would do that just to be sure. Also, so it stays solid. Now, I'll give you a lesson about stocks. Now, depending on what kind you're making, how skinny it is, like say you're doing an M16A2 stock, normally what I would do, I would get, I would make it in sections, and then I would stick like rolled cardboard in there so it stabilizes it and doesn't allow it to bend. Normally that's something you would do, so make sure if you are going to do that, make it a cross section. Don't tape the other side yet, or leave a hole in the back for you to do that, but mostly I would just not even put the other side on yet, because you can just stick all that in sections, make sure everything's correct and it's not damaging it in any way, and it would make that stock way more solid and less prone to bending and deforming and breaking. We're not going to put those in there yet until we're done with this side. We can get the whole shape of it. We're going to go and bend this to the rear of the butt pad of the stock. Remember to always get that little crease in there out so it looks flush with it. Once you see it's flush, again, grab your tape. And since this is a light curve, you want to get as much as possible. At least as much to where it's the same length, but I'll probably just get something that's just a little bit shorter. And then tape it on the part that I'm creasing so the tape creases along with it and it's not bending or getting any bubbles in it. So now it's flush with that. And then we just bend it to it. The tape bends along with it. And then you fold it. Now, the problem with this technique, it's not even really a technique, this is a mistake, is what you'd call this. when you bend it, it starts wrinkling. So what you want to do, every bend or crease you see in that little angle, you just cut. So it just falls into place. So what you would do, just cut little sections into it. So it all comes together nicely. Like that. So now you have little sections in the tape. So whenever you fold them, let me go pinch this together. When you fold them on, they're in sections, so they fold freely, and you can get that shape you want, and you're not going to have that many creases. You're just going to see the tape. That piece just came off, just like that. So if I can get this close enough to the camera, you can see where it's like squared off. That's where I made those cuts. So along that angle, it's all flush with it, and there's nothing sticking out, and you can just see it oh so beautifully. I'm gonna get this one little spot here that I didn't get before. Make sure that's taped on. Not gonna worry about that shape too much, but it's not that big of a deal. So now, as you can see, so far, it's the whole shape of the stock. So now you have all that room in there to get all that padding in, so it keeps it straight. So we're gonna get the rest of it now. Make sure you don't damage the other side, of course, it's common sense. And if the piece that you cut wasn't long enough, why I'm bringing this up is because this one wasn't long enough. So normally what you would probably have to do, one, figure out how long it needs, and two, remember your measurements. Always remember your measurements. So I remember that the width of this gun is 2 inches wide. So you would cut off a 2-inch wide piece of cardboard. That was the size that you would need. So what you would do is just grab a regular old ruler, then you would curve it over, and then find the amount that you need. Where is my side? There it is. We need roughly 4 inches of it, so 4 by 2. So we get a 4-inch long piece of cardboard, and then it's got to be 2 inches wide, which is what 4 by 2 means. So we're just gonna figure that out right now. So right here we got just a little over 2 inches on this cut, but we're gonna go ahead and cut that off. So that's a 2-inch cut. And then we're gonna go ahead the long ways, and we're gonna measure 4 inches exactly from the 0. Now we have it cut correctly. So we know where to stop cutting once we cut. Go ahead and cut this. Keep cutting, and then we stop at that mark. Then we cut it right on out. And that piece should just fall off. Boom. So this is a 2x4. So now having this 2x4, you would throw this down on the middle of it. We'll go ahead and check if this measures nicely. Okay, so first problem here is apparently that was a little over 2 inches. I don't know how I got that, but it is. But now we know where that measure is. However, the length that we got is correct, other than a little bit of a thing, but we can just pinch it in and it'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and cut that excess off. Just keep your scissors as straight as possible, or else it's not going to come out well. So now we got a 2x4, or 4x2. Okay, now we would get this, and we would make sure, well, before we do this, do not tape this onto the end of it. Don't do that. It'll cause problems later. Just make sure you get this piece on. Take that over. And push. Now that piece is on. Now we make sure the rest of the curvatures are closed. That came off bad. And it folded over. God dang it. There we go. Who said that? I didn't see who saw that because my chat isn't even up. I don't know why my chat isn't up. Here we go. Hey, Druden. And then we'll go ahead and seal this bit off that's hanging because I don't like the way that looks. This piece is not going to hold. So if you think a piece of tape isn't going to hold, do not second guess yourself. Thank you for the compliment on the channel. We're going to go ahead and seal that more. So just push it as hard down as you could. I'm speaking in third person right now. I don't like that. Okay. But be careful not to add too much. If you think it's too much, don't mess with it anymore because it's going to start to bunch up and it's going to look really bad. You want to always use at least one piece on the first try. Nobody's perfect, but at least one or two. Okay, now we just add that extension onto it and we will be golden. Now this is where you would tape it over. Okay. Why is it like... Thank you, man. My day has been fine. So far, I got work I need to do right after this, so that's gonna be fun. Okay. Okay. Now we'll seal it. If I can, shoot. Oh, this piece is in the way. Try to match that curve because it's really light. Alright. Another way to do this is just by cutting it up in sections, kind of like the last one, but this time we're just cutting them all the way off instead of halfway. So we throw it in sections, 1, 2, and 3. Then we line it, pull, this, pull, and pull. Now that piece has been attached. So that top stock is pretty much complete. Now what we'll do to finish this off is we'll pull the front face of the stock towards the rest of it. And then as far as I'm concerned, we will be complete with this part or step of the stock. So now we have this whole area completely welded on. And just in case, if you see any other little mark-offs that of course you want to mark off and fix, here's a little piece right here that's not even sealed correctly, so we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll get a small piece of tape so it doesn't mess with any of it. Make sure it's smoothed over, and then we'll try to get this part inside of this groove. Sealed. Okay. For the most part, this is a finished piece. Alright. Now, to prevent any cave-ins, we're going to go ahead and reseal that little piece, that little extension that I just threw on there. We'll seal it from the bottom to prevent that from caving in and ruining it. Alright, now, this part is, I just like to call this inner framing, wire framing, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. You just get a good old dandy piece of cardboard. You want to cut them up into somewhat sections, or you can do what I do and fold this up as much as possible. And don't curve it into a circle either. Let this just get as high as it can. And if it doesn't fit, you can always just redo that. So one thing I like doing is we get the height of the piece that we're working on, which of course is exactly 2 inches, maybe just a little bit more, just a little bit over, just because of that bottom piece. So you'd get that much on that height, you'd roll it and then put it on certain sections on the middle. So one thing that you would do to keep this thing from breaking, say if you were like shouldering it or something like that, you would put one piece, you can't see that, I can't see that, you'd put one piece probably like right there, you put one in the middle and one in the rear. I don't think you can see those little X's that I put. If you look hard enough, you can see them. But those little X's are where those rolls are going to go, and those rolls are going to prevent this thing from caving in. So we'll have some durability to the gun, depending on the gun in question. Certain stocks aren't good, folding stocks. I've done one before. They're not fun. They tend to break. But if you have this stuff in it, you can fly right under the radar and it'll stay nice and solid. This is exactly what I did with the AK. Now, if you were making cardstock guns, which is a little bit more challenging because you're using paper, but a little less challenging because it's easier to puncture and get holes in, you would use some, what's it called? You would just use a cardstock, roll it up into big piles, and push it inward. So now we have this piece that is about a little over 2 inches long. We'll go ahead and check if that's what we need. And it is. Actually, wait, is it? Okay, how did this happen? I'm confused. Bro, I swear I'm using a ruler. Okay, well that's really annoying. We have some excess here. A lot of it, actually. That goes all the way around. I don't know how that happened. I could have sworn I measured 2 inches, just a little bit over. No fear though, because I just got that removed. So now we'll go in here and check if this is the size we need. Still shooting a little high. I don't know what is up with this. So I have more to remove. I don't know how that worked. Is the piece just like uneven or something? I don't know what's happening here. It might just be uneven. Let me just cut through this until I get to that freaking point. This should clear it, and if it doesn't clear it, I don't know what will. Make sure this is right. Yep, fits right on in there. Now we'll just fold her up. Make sure it's a tough fold too. And then we'd start setting them in here. So I'll go ahead and set this one down in the middle. Let me grab some tape and do it in. I can't move that. I can't, it's stuck to my finger. There we go. Smooth that out, make sure it doesn't come off. Smooth that in. Now I just got this little thing here. So that stock, once it sits on it, it's gonna be all white. Now, most of the time, the problem here would be keeping it down. So I just get tape and hanging off the bottom there, and I'll split them out, place it where I need to place it, and then let them fall to the floor of it, and then smooth that out so it stays in there. Normally how I do the most of this stuff once I'm making stocks fit their needs. You could do this in a multitude of shapes, including, you can just honestly just shape it as well, but you can also do like diamonds and other kind of prisms, and it would just fit in there. Now we have that. So now it's just in there. So once you fold this over and then tape it down, that little piece in there is going to make it hard right there, and it's going to start turning pretty durable. Just like hefty trash bags. This might be just a little over 2. Yeah, just a little over. This is a really gross looking piece though, I'm not gonna lie. Just make sure it reaches the ceiling at some point. If it comes a little high, just get like a marking pencil and cut that off, because you don't need it. Make it as flat as possible so it's even. Yep. Alright, that's how you check. We'll go ahead and grab this, put it around, make it as strong as possible. Oops. That tape and cut it off. Now we got a cylinder just as before, that's taped down. And now we'll do, honestly, I think I'm just going to coin the term octopus method for this, because that's what it looks like afterward, just without the 8 legs. Tentacles, whatever you want to call them, arms, doodads. Alright. Good to see that YouTube hasn't taken this down yet. That's awesome. They did me wrong on that other video. Now we grab. Well, actually, should I just... I don't think I should put it that close to it. Oh, that kind of brought up that one. My bad. I don't think I should put it that... I'm going to put it, like, right by the butt end of it. So if I do decide to shoulder this thing, it'll stick. It's not actually on it. Keep messing that up. Just like that. Alright, great. This last piece of tape, and since this is the part of the rear end of that stock, we're just going to fold this tape over and make sure it applies to it. So now you have something that looks like that. The front half we're not too worried about because it's going to be housed inside of the gun. So we're going to go ahead and fold this part over. And as you can see, we got pretty steady end here. Once we get that part done, we're going to go ahead and seal this bad boy up. Now, once you're done with one side, you're going to be okay on the other. So you just get these large pieces and then you start sealing. Make sure you apply it to the other side first, like on top of it. So as you start taping, you can shape it and it'll apply what you need. Because since I pinched that rear end there, whenever I put that extension in to make sure that it would work, it made it like a little bit more hard to move, sadly. So now I'm just gonna go back over it with that. Yeah, it did. It kind of messed that up just a little bit. Once I put this part up to it, honestly, it just starts freaking, it's out of shape. Let me cut this piece off. There we go. No, it's still not. Get all those wrinkles out, make sure they're out of here. At the bottom. I think I got the most of it done. I need to get the rear part finished as well. Okay. Alright. We're going to get this rear part of the arm. Okay, that shoulder rest part has been sealed. Now we just need this. And then that little curve there at the bottom, and we're done. Okay. Skinniest piece I can get without it breaking, and then we're gonna grab this. This part here doesn't want to. What's it called though? Which is pretty annoying. I'll let it go because it didn't do it on the other side either. So push that down. So I'm gonna get that in there. Okay. Smooth that out. And for the most part, other than some of these parts that don't want to stick, and to fix that, I'm just going to do the simplest thing in the world and seal the entire back so tape cannot move. That sound hurts my soul. Alright, rear stock is now finished for the Mg42. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and come on over here, and we're going to grab our gun, and this, oops, okay, it's like messing with the rear trunnion just a little bit amount. Crap, it's messing with it a lot, like surprisingly a lot, like it doesn't want to go in. Come on. This might take a bit. Try to get this to fit in because it's like it doesn't want to accept that the stock wants to come on the inside. Just won't let it in. Golly, man. Maybe too wide. Probably is. Here's what we'll do. We'll just cut the trunnion inlets off. They seem to be messing with this thing's flight pattern. Come on, baby. Yeah, this part right here does not want it to go in. Come on. There we go. Now it sits in there. Jesus, man. That was like terrifyingly hard. Okay, we got that stock in there now. Now it's time to apply. Okay. Oh, do that. Tilt it out just a little bit. Oh, it just fell out. There we go. Now it can't come out anymore. Okay. Take the rest of the stock. Take the top here. Okay. Need to get the rest of it on, and the stock will be wedded to this thing. Okay. It's the last piece of tape, and then the stock is on. And there we are. Now it's heavier. Now, one thing I am noticing with the stock is that it's a little huge. Like, does messes with me a lot. Like, I don't know why it looks like. From here, it looks alright. Okay. I mean, it looks okay. That stock looks a little huge, but hey, I think from here where I'm standing it looks just like one. Maybe with just a little bit of a tainted stock more than usual, like something went wrong in the shop and they just said, you know what, F it. Although I highly doubt much of this happened because this is a German gun and they take pride in their guns. German firearms are, to me at least, German firearms, best firearms. I actually love like places like HK, FN, which is in Belgium, but still German. You got all these places out here in Germany that are making stuff for the US and for themselves. I mean, hey, they're doing a good job. Okay. I'm always still scared that some of this tape won't hold. The tape on the stock will hold. I don't know about the front, which does scare me just a little bit. Nothing a little bit of bruises will do her. It looks pretty good from here. So now comes the hard part. Because of polygons and crap, the booster for the which is the muzzle for this thing, has a cone on it, and I am not frank with making cones, nor do I like making cones. I don't enjoy it because it's really annoying trying to get those things to fit together. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and get it just a little bit higher than this thing and get that thing brushed onto it however we can. We could just use this, honestly. This looks like it would work. It looks like it would work. Now, the thing about the gun that we have made here is the only problem is the barrel. The barrel must protrude in order for the barrel change to be complete, in order for it to even go in, which is just a little bit of a problem, but not that much of a hassle. I mean, to be fair, this thing was just made by looking at prints and stuff like that, so I can't be mad at a little bit of anything for this thing. Because right up here is where that cone's gonna go, and then we need an extra threading for it, because this is just the port. But honestly, I do think I should just put it on now. But the sad part is that it's a little bit further than it is shown here. That could be either one or two things. I highly doubt. Yeah, I figured. Okay. Well, we'll cut out a amount for this and get it to fit over without it doing that. Okay. And make sure right about there is where we're gonna cut. Alright, we have the barrel bushing. Now we're gonna make sure this thing is even all the way through. Alright, we have a so-so even piece for muzzle flash to go. Okay, pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this baby. Okay, I'm seeing some fill geometry up in here. Something is keeping it. Oh, it's probably the flap that even put this thing on in the first place. Which annoys me just a little. Because, here, wait, I don't even know if you can see that. Right there, you see a little flap that's right where the barrel's sitting? That's the problem right there. It's forbidding me from getting this on it at all. Okay. Go ahead and wrap this around. That's a pretty nice wrap right there. That looks good. Okay. About this barrel. So I need to experiment with this just a little bit to make sure that this thing can still come through if need be. All these like rich kids out here with their freaking GoPros and stuff, bro. Boy, do we not fit. If that fits, then this should fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and cone it, get it in there in that barrel, so it can at least still come through whenever I want to put it in. But it's not like it comes through crooked, it comes in straight during a barrel change, because I just need to twist it and then it'll fall into that cam and then push it through the muzzle, and then it comes through, because I just have to push it back in, so it's not that big a deal. One thing to always remember is whenever you make muzzle stuff, like muzzle brakes and crap like that, you have to be very gentle with them, because muzzles are pretty small, scissors aren't. So the terrifying part is that if you accidentally manage to chip it, you have to start all over again, because rounds, especially rifle rounds, they can be like about this tiny on that primer. So if you manage to screw that freaking muzzle brake up, doing like all these little tiny baby cuts, especially with this thing, because with this thing it doesn't close all the way, so I have to like press it down. It might cut through the whole muzzle brake and have to restart it. That's what I did for the AK-74. It took a long time to get that thing done correctly, but once I did, I was proud of myself, because that was the first time I've ever made such an intricate piece. That stuff will make you happy like that. Okay, this isn't even right size at all. Let me try getting this. Let me get this and crush it. Okay. I don't know why everyone keeps joining stream and leaving immediately. It's probably my setup. I bet 100 if I had a better setup than this that wasn't on the bed and I had a tripod and and everyone could see everything, they probably wouldn't click off. Alright, let me check. That could work. Let me cut off just a little bit less than I was gonna cut off, just to make sure if this works or not. This might work. Yeah, oh, it could work. Let me just round this off a bit, crush the sides, and we might be golden. making sure not to cut myself with that. Okay. Now this will just go inside of threading part. Come on, baby. Made it slightly bigger for the hole it was going in, which explains why it won't go in there easily. Okay, this is the stump of it. We're gonna go ahead and get the cone coming out so this thing looks authentic once it comes out of the thing. And then once I get this part finished, I'm going to go ahead and try to put it over that and see if the barrel can still push through, because again, I need to be able to protrude that barrel through the muzzle area so I can even barrel change it. I don't know why, dude. The stock of this thing still bothers me. It kind of bothers me. I don't know if it's the stock rather than just the... can I even shoulder this first of all? It feels odd because it's not rounded. Technically you could shoulder this. It's a big gun, but technically you could still shoulder this. It just feels uncomfortable and weird. I'm not mad at it though. Go ahead and put that down. We're going to take the rest of this muzzle device and we're going to see if it just goes on and I can protrude the barrel. And once that's done, we can get the cone on there and then we'll stick it on this thing once it's tested to work. So we'll grab the gun and see if she attaches. That's going to take some force, doesn't it? Yep, there it is. Okay, that's not bad. It attaches on there. Not straight, but we could only hope, right? It's not bad at all. Looks fairly well. Fairly well made, or shaped, really, because it looks pretty crude from here, but I could see this being a thing. So we'll go ahead and try to see if we can push the barrel through. Yep. With no problems. We can push that barrel through. This is qualified. Go ahead and grab this thing and put this down real quick. We'll slip that off and we'll go ahead and make our little cone. Not sure how long or how what the length of it will be. However, what I will do is use this. It looks off of 2 inches, which is good. Highly doubt this thing will be 2 inches long. That'd be ridiculous. Go ahead and fold this. This looks like a pretty malleable piece though, so I should have no trouble making this whatsoever. So to make cones, what you gotta do, you gotta get a rounded piece, and then you gotta like twist them together, where they make this like, it looks almost like a ribbon. You twist it together. I hate cones so much. And then you'll kind of see it forming this little cone. If you don't have both parts bending, it won't do it. Like, it has to form an X in order for it to even become close to a cone. But as this follows, it's not fun to do. I hate cones so much because they take up like God knows how much of my time trying to get them right. It's going to be sideways, so it's not going to look correct, but you can see there, it's forming a cone. So the best motivation is just to keep going. Now what we'll do, we'll go ahead and shape it to make sure it's still, what's it called, bending. Yeah, that's perfect, okay. That looks like it might work. So now, again, cones are stupid. in the cardboard world, or in the paper world. Paper world, it's so much more easier. When you're doing it with cardboard, though, it sucks. It really does. We'll go ahead and cut this off, then cut this off, and then we'll just cut straight across, hoping we don't damage it. Okay. Oh, great. Would you look at that? We damaged it. That's fun. I hate cones. Wait. Hold on. I think I just remembered something. If I remember correct, to make a cone, you have to round off the entire area of the bottom. So let me... This is an experiment. Get this excess off, don't need it. Then, if I remember correctly, to make a cone, you have to round the bottom out. This is pure speculation, but I think this is how you make a cone. Is that just it, or do you have? I think I have to like. Or it's the easier way to make it anyway. Okay. So I think this is how you make a cone. I think. I'm not sure. Something tells me it's not, and it's going to come out as a failure, but something also tells me that this could work. So I remember trying to make a cone, and I rounded off the bottom, I believe. How would you form this? Like this? Is that even a cone? This isn't even a cone. This is like a freaking... What do you call this? This is like a... No. I think you had to make the... I don't know. How do you make cones? You can't make cones. Like, to make a flash suppressor, you have to have that cone in there, and I don't think that's gonna work. It almost looks like an AK, like a 74U muzzle brake. I can just shape it off just a little bit more. Oh, wait. Because I'm forgetting, like, to get the other sides. It just feels weird trying to shape it. I think I might have got it, though. Might have. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions just yet, but I might have done it. Okay. Retape this. I'm not gonna lose hope yet. This is just an experimental, and we'll see if this works, because it looks good. It looks like it could be a cone. Maybe? Hold on. This might work. Bro, you don't... I don't think you have to rev up a dirt bike that much. Just drive. Get out of here, dude. Okay. I think I've done something. I think I've got... I might have done it. One of these edges are cut off way too high. Let me get that rest. We got a cone. Do I care about all the other holes that are going around the rim at the bottom? No, not really. I just want this muzzle brake thing to end. Let's call it a booster. but at this point, terminology is getting thrown out the window. I'm getting really sick of making cones. Freaking told you I'd probably be here for God knows how long, twiddling my thumbs trying to figure out how this works, but I might have got that to come out somewhat okay. It doesn't look nearly as stout as one would look, but oh well. It's a cardboard model, who's gonna care? People are just gonna be like, oh, that's great, you did good on the architecture. Okay, we're just gonna put this onto the gun, which also increases the length. It's really good cone though. It's like a chode. I hate it. God dang. It doesn't even look remotely like a cone. I don't know how to make a cone. I'm trying to think of some way. And the gun looks okay. It looks pretty great, but the cone. The barrel can't protrude, so that's a good thing. As long as it can protrude, we are solid. See, it's supposed to be like flared on the sides. I'm gonna try this again. I want to just see if it's possible. I'm trying to think of how you would even remotely, do this. Because like this method seemed like it worked for a second until I like cut it off and then it looked like a chode. Does it have something to do with like folding it back? Don't know. We'll use it though. Looks good enough. If it looks like a muzzle brake, it's good enough for me. Okay, we'll get these last two pieces out and get this muzzle attached. I'll double check to make sure that it stays on. And then also double check to make sure that that barrel can still move. It literally just looks like a chode. I don't know what else to say about that. Alright, can the barrel protrude? Yes or no? It's moving the door and it's protruding, so got the barrel right. We're going to perform a quick barrel change to make sure this works. I'm going to do this a different way than before. We're going to get the cocking handle back. I'm going to flip this open, push it forward. We're going to open it. We have to flip the cam so it comes through at least a couple centimeters. And then we're going to roll let's see how I did it. Let me just make sure before I break it, honestly. I think I let the other half out and then just something like that. There we go. The barrel is going to come out. Hey, Henry.
Right? That's gonna get caught on it. Just getting caught on the tape at this point. There we go. Then the barrel comes out, and then once you're ready, you insert the new barrel in, and then in this thing's case, it's gonna come along here. It should connect with the muzzle up there. I think it is. If it'll let me put this thing through, golly. I have to move it myself, sadly. This is annoying. Oh, come on. Why are you stuck? What are you stuck on? How about the fact that it's not even in the barrel? There we go. Jesus. Okay. Barrel would come in. We would flip it like this. Flip it back around. And then we're in. Then it falls down to the groove. And then we have a new barrel in. And that's what that looks like. I hate this muzzle. Just squeeze it. It doesn't. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's pretty much the MG. It's not bad. Stock kind of bothers me just a little bit, but it's not enough to piss me off too much. But that's it. That's about it. Yeah. Mg42. Please like and subscribe, please. My channel needs subs. I've lost thousands of subs for some reason. Don't know why. It's really annoying. I swear to God, I've lost like 2,000 subscribers over like the past month. I don't know if it's some sort of problem with YouTube or I don't know what it is, but I'm just losing subscribers and it makes me sad. Honestly, it's about to start making me not want to do this anymore. I used to be, what is it, the 56? I think it was the 56 mark, or no, the 56. Where was I at? I was about to get up to 58,000. And then the channel just had this down curve because no videos were getting recommended at all on the front page. So there's no reason for anybody to even click on any of my videos. That's why their views have went down, watch hours have went down terrifyingly. Channel's just dying. I don't know what to do. It's gotta be probably a better way to get videos out there. Well, keep grinding. To be fair, this channel's only blown up for a couple months, so I gotta keep going. What is that? That's the sketch paper. Alright, well, it's done. Pretty much. Yeah, she's done. Alright, well, please like and subscribe. Also, make sure and check you are subscribed if you were before, because YouTube's unsubbing people for some gay reason, and I've lost a lot from it, so please subscribe, because I swear to God, I looked and I saw that, like, apparently 90-something%, like 99% of people that watch my videos are literally not even subbed. That's scary. That's really scary. People just watching a throwaway. So, anyway, see you guys right after I